I was in the early stages of motherhood. I had my firstborn daughter. She was born with a medical condition. And we were at a top doctor in CHOP. And the doctor, before she was going in for a scan, the doctor looked at my husband and I and said, "We're looking for bad things." And I remember my husband and I, we just said, we're not going to worry until we have to worry. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Raisy.
Welcome to our podcast, Money and Meaning, where we talk about success that matters. Hi, welcome to our podcast. I'm Julie Elkon.
And I'm Raisy Sirote. Each episode, we're planning to highlight how successful Jewish professionals have integrated their faith, their values, and their identity into building thriving businesses and meaningful careers. We're planning to invite guests to share personal stories of overcoming challenges, making ethical decisions in tough situations, and how Jewish principles guide their leadership approach.
We're hoping to highlight not just financial success, but also how these individuals contribute to their communities and create lasting impact through their work.
So I know a lot about you, Julie, but why don't we give our audience just a quick synopsis of who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I started in 2015 as a solo real estate agent and slowly grew over time. In 2020, I made my first hire and started a team.
It's a big deal.
Yes, and from there, in 2022, I opened up my own brokerage, and we specialize in selling residential and commercial. And right now, we are a team of 12.
Do you specialize in New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Monmouth and Ocean County specifically.
Okay, really cool.
So how about you? How did you get started, Raisy? And explain a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a business process consultant, and I started off with a background in computer science, which not so many people know.
Boring.
I know. I find it really interesting. And it really got me started on systems thinking. I worked as a system analyst in a corporate environment for a number of years. And then when I started having kids, I didn't really want to work full time. And at the time, like freelancing, going out on your own, the whole thing, it wasn't even a thing. So I left that world and I went into teaching. I taught high school for like 15 years. Learned a lot about managing a classroom and taught a bunch of different subjects. And then when my youngest went back to school, I was like, oh, let me go back to the business world. There's that part of my brain that kind of lay dormant a lot of the time, but I had been helping my husband grow his side hustle. So I started process consultancy to help businesses align their teams. It's been such a rewarding work, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to help a business grow in a healthy way so that there's consistent results for their customers and their employees are happy.
Wow, so your typical client is a small business that's looking to scale and needs help setting up their systems?
Not the technical side of things, but making sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, what success looks like, and so that they can do the same kind of work and deliver the right type of work on brand for the customer each time.
Very interesting.
Yeah, love it.
We have a lot of experience using you, and I refer you to everyone I know. So you obviously do a good job.
And you are my sales coach guru. Who else could have convinced me to start a podcast? No one else but Julie.
That's true.
Anyway.
They say I could sell a dead dog.
I'm here, so that's proof enough. All right, so we're planning on talking about purpose and meaning. And so a lot of times people start businesses or they're motivated for the paycheck at the end and making money. But we've come to see, and something that really gives us a lot of pleasure in the work we do, is that there's a lot of meaning and purpose to the work that we're doing. So Julie, why don't you talk about the purpose that you see behind the work that you do?
Sure. So when I started, I wasn't thinking about opening up my own brokerage. I got into my field because I felt my husband and I were looking to buy a house, and I felt that the customer service side was lacking. We would call agents. Nobody was available. They would take days till they called us back. We had to chase them.
That doesn't happen at Julie Elkon Realty.
No, it does not. And I thought that if I could get in there and do things a little bit better and service people better, then I can, have this white glove service and I also am passionate about helping people. I was in customer service before, and I love helping people. It's something that I enjoy doing, and so it was cool that I was able to mix my passion of helping people with what I do. I wasn't thinking of opening my own brokerage. I just focused on becoming like the best agent and honing in on my skills. And again, I opened up my own brokerage later on when I saw that I was able to mentor other agents and give advice and coach people, and they were able to become successful based off the coaching and mentorship that I was providing.
Yeah, no, I know from hanging around your office that your agents really feel like they're part of a team. Is there something specific that you do that enables that feeling?
Yes, so we have a higher form of accountability than other places, and we make it very exciting, motivation, it's very motivating, and it's competitive in a good way. And, people tend to do better when they're around high producing people. And so my motto has been bring people in that are active, that are in real estate full time, that are going to be top producers, as opposed to just taking whoever and whomever, and they might do a deal, they might not do a deal. We want people who are actively doing business. There's deal flow, there's competitiveness.
And you have these like group meetings with everyone together to really...
Yeah, we run sales meetings twice a week. So once at the beginning, we do goal setting. In the beginning of the week and the end of the week, we're kind of wrapping up the week. And again, we're always throwing in inspiration, coaching, motivation. How can we get better? How can we service the clients better? And to me, a lot of people ask me, why do you do this? You're training in your competition. Why are you adding agents? And I look at it as it's the greatest compliment. If someone would come in here and become so good that they go off to a different brokerage or go on their own, and I would be so happy for them. Like I don't take it as a threat. So, and I think my agents really feel that I want them genuinely to be successful, and that's what keeps them around.
Yeah. So nice, yeah.
And out of all my agents here, I've not recruited not one single one.
They all just came because they heard about it.
They are attracted to what we're building here, and they feel that we're adding value, and that's why they came.
That's beautiful. It really sums up who you are. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when I originally started my consultancy, I was very focused on the process side of things, which is so important to be able to deliver consistent results. And I kind of knew that it was going to have an impact on the people, because obviously it does. But what's given me the most satisfaction in the work that I do is that, we kind of know when friends of ours are working in like a toxic workplace or a very dysfunctional workplace, and they come home and they're in bad moods all the time, and they're like, nothing's going to change, and like I wish I could work in a better place, and should I leave? And it spills over into all aspects of their life. But when someone's working in an environment like Julie's, where they feel empowered and they know what success looks like, and they are very clear about when they're doing well, and they get constructive feedback if they need to make things better, and they feel like they're part of a team, and they all know where the business is headed. It spills over not just into their lives and the lives of all the employees, but also to their families and people that they interact with on a daily basis. So while working on your process can boost profits in a major way by cutting back on waste and really giving your customers an exceptional experience, it also really makes the employees happy to be there, and it cuts down on churn. So the people aspect of the work that I do really gives me a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, the company culture, there's a lot of talk about that out there, and I think it's so important. I think that people don't just work for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And it's a big, and I remember I called you when I had an employee issue. You really hit the nail on the head. You have a very good read on people. Like, where did you get that from? Your teaching, or?
Over time. It's definitely not something that I had when I was younger necessarily. I'm married to a therapist, which I think,
okay, there we go.
I think helps. So I think I bring the psychology piece and then the systems piece. And a lot of times people are either one or the other, but I feel like the blend is really what brings the magic, because you can set up systems, but your business isn't computers, they're people. And so it needs to be like breathable, and there has to be understanding about the humanity within the business, but there also needs to be this kind of focus on the consistency. So finding that balance is really a sweet spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we one of the things we wanted to talk about was Jewish values. Sometimes making business decisions, you would need to compromise in some way in that area. Is there anything that you like? I know you're out there in the world, you meet a lot of people. Like, has that ever come up for you?
Yes, so an interesting story. I recently decided not to shake hands with men.
How recently is this? I'm curious.
Maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and I go to a lot, 2 times or 3 times a year, I go to different conferences with a lot of non-Jewish people, and I meet I have a lot of referral partners that are non-Jewish. I meet a lot of sellers, buyers, people who are non-Jewish, and a lot of people don't know the rules and the laws, and it happens.
You're also such a nice person. Like, you would never want to like put somebody on the spot like that, you know?
So yeah, it's very hard for me. I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So very hard for me to say no. And I decided one night, I told my husband, I'm not going to be shaking hands with anybody. It's just I want to instill this boundary. And the next day, I come to a listing appointment, and I walk into the guy's office, and he reaches out his hand. And again, now I've become accustomed. I know exactly what to say, how to say it in a nice way. I'd love to shake your hand, but I can't, and I kind of explain it. But at that time, it was still so new to me, and I was still not confident with it that I stumbled over my words.
I'm hurting just listening to the story.
Yeah, I stumbled over my words, and I said something like, "Oh, I can't shake your hand," and he's like, for religious purposes, and he's like, "Okay," and I couldn't read him. I wasn't sure if he was upset, not upset.
Yeah.
It was like and then his son came into the room that we were also working. His son was making the decision together with him. It was a $3 million commercial listing. And I signed the listing agreement there.
Amazing.
So that story showed me, and I sold it a few months later, that story showed me that you can have values, you can stick to them, people respect you, and you don't have to compromise in order to get what you want.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was like Hashem saying, like, you're doing good, keep it up.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it is a nice thing. I'm trying to remember when we met, how we met. I feel like
we met through networking.
You ran an event.
Right.
You ran an event. See, Julie does all these things. It's so nice. No, because like you don't just like stay in your little world. Like you really care about, like, she runs a few different masterminds.
I tell all my agents, you can't be a secret realtor. You got to be out there.
I know, but not everybody does it like this. But like, you run these masterminds. I think that's how we kept up, because I come in every month to this mastermind. How else has the work you're doing impacted your community? Like I see how much you're having an impact on other businesses by, talking about education and making sure that you're showing up as your best self at work and running these masterminds and helping people connect. I mean, you've helped me so much in my business. So how do you feel like the work you're doing impacts your community?
I really focus on helping people, and my goal, like some people look at it, right? You have goals to get leads, and my thing is help 2 people every day.
Oh, I didn't know this is one of your things.
Yes, and I focus on serving, helping my community, and being that connector and community resource. One time, I was on the way to a networking event with my friend, and one of my clients called me. It was on the day of closing, and he called me to ask me how much he should tip his movers. And she was laughing. She thought it was so funny. Like, why do you have to call Julie to ask how much you should tip your movers? But I explained when he hung up. I explained to her. I said, no, they call me for everything. People call me about what schools they should send their kids to. They call me about if I have a therapist for their kid. It became not only in just like the home inspector and the tile guy that they need. It's a resource and a community connector. And these masterminds that we do, that you are part of, I have 3 masterminds that I run for business owners. And I actually got a few people jobs just by meeting these business owners and knowing people that needed jobs. And that was the greatest.
It's such a good feeling.
Yeah. The greatest feeling ever.
That's really nice. Yeah. So my target clients are not solopreneurs, and a lot of times I'll have solopreneurs approach me asking me to help them how they should structure. Are they ready to hire? How could they onboard their first employee? And so I often feel like since they're not going to, maybe one day I'll work with them, because I generally work with teams. I often give them time, and it's so nice to be able to watch a business in its like very infancy stage, that next stage, using the skills that I have.
Right, and you're also, I find that you also come into businesses that are struggling in a way, and you're also helping them get back on their feet or get
because a lot of times why they're struggling is it's just lack of knowledge. Like they when you're a mom and pop and you're kind of like Heimish, like it works for a while, but then all of a sudden it stops working. And so when you want to get to that next level and not like hate going to work every day, you really need to build structure. And so that's kind of when people usually call me and I come in and help. So I didn't know you back when you were starting your business. I know that I've had my own challenges in getting it's about 4 years since I started. What was it like when you first started?
So what's interesting is that I went from a solo agent to a team to owning my own brokerage. It's all different things.
Yeah. It's like a whole different skill set, really.
Right. And many agents are not good managers and not good leaders. It's a very normal thing not to be able to do both.
Yeah, because being an agent is very like solo focused. Like it's your deals, it's your thing.
Right.
Except if you work for Julie, because then you're part of a team.
Sure. So I think that over time, I saw that I had a knack. I always did. Since I'm a little kid, I was the leader. And when I got into business, when I made my first hire and then my second hire, I saw like I enjoyed this leadership thing. I was helping people, earn they were earning a salary, but they were enjoying the work with me, along the way. And I saw that I had this like natural ability to lead people. And that's when I decided that I wanted to, go forward with a brokerage and really lead. So, I find that it's a very hard thing to do because they're two different. There's the leading and the brokerage side, and then there's the selling and brokering my own personal business.
It's almost like there's growth at each plateau.
Right.
When you go to the next one, you have to learn new skills to be able to do the next thing. For me, I knew it would be hard to start a business. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. There's a lot of really great days where I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I get to work in my leggings and pajamas and I can sit at my computer and it's amazing. And I can take time off to do things that are important to me. And there are some days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, can I just get a job and get a paycheck and just be able to show up and clock in and move on?
It's funny because I could actually probably work from my leggings and pajamas some days if I wanted to, but I never do. I feel like I can't, but I really
can.
could. Like I could go to Florida and I could make 3 deals sitting on the beach.
Yeah, no, you should.
Like all my
we got to work on this, girl.
Yes. Most of my work is on the phone communicating. Like I get paid to communicate on a crazy high level. It's something I always tell my agents: the communication. And I have boots on the ground, right? I have a showing agent that shows all my properties for me. I was just in my cousin's house, so I sold last week for a Shaverbuckus. I never saw her house. I'm like, let me look around now while I'm here. I'm like, you lived here for 2 years, and I sold you your house, and I never saw it. It was so funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that it is hard to grow and to start and to scale, and it's not cut out. Not everybody's cut out for it. I think that's also something that people need to.
Yeah, but I have a lot of appreciation for like the like support system that you need for like there's a lot of like personal development. There's a lot of like emotional work about like continuing even on the hard days to keep pushing through.
Yeah, self-motivating.
Yeah, and then like the friends who are out there, like the mastermind. It's a huge part of my month that I come in and we toss around ideas, share challenges, come up with creative ideas. Today we just had a meeting and we're talking about different AI ways of using AI in your business and it just feels like we're part of like a group of people who are all struggling in different ways, but are like kind of working together to grow their own businesses. So it's really meaningful.
So being a business owner, it's really about being self-motivated. And for me, it's working every day like I have nothing on the table. I don't know about you. We have 2 different business models.
This is for sure true.
Right.
You want to say the M word?
The M word. When we talk about metrics and numbers, not just revenue, but like what metric do you care most about, or do you not care about metrics?
I don't like the word goals. I feel like strategy, moving in the right direction. I feel like goals is like a little bit too tight for me. And that's not to say that I wouldn't recommend it for my clients. But for me, I really like having a business that can be very organic and that I can kind of move with the seasons of my life. I can schedule it around my kids' schedule, before Yontif, before school, all that kind of stuff. And so to me, I like having like a lot of flexibility within how I grow my business. So I have my goals of growing my business year over year, but I don't have like a very specific direct place that I'm looking to go, which is not the way that Julie works.
No, I mean, we are opposites and we agree to disagree on that one.
We have different business models.
We have different business models.
Yeah.
My business model, I mean, I work very similar. I'm a salesperson. We're all salespeople. I'm similar to a mortgage broker, insurance broker in that aspect where you have to have goals because otherwise it's very hard to, you don't really have a guide map of what you're doing every day. So my agents and myself, we have numbers that we try to hit every week, every month, and it really helps. Like at the end of the week, we're like, wow, I did get 5 leads this week. I got 6 leads. And the reason why I find it so important to track and know your metrics is because when I look at the end of the month and I say, okay, I got 30 leads this month and I converted 6 and I transacted with 6 people. So now I know what my conversion rate is. So I know how many leads to aim for every month.
So I can only handle 5 clients at a time, and some of them stay
Right,
with me
so-
for 6 months, a year, 18 months. So
Right.
it's a whole different thing. And I'm also, I'm not looking to build an empire right now. It's me. I work by myself, and I help my clients. And you have this whole world that you're supporting and holding up. So it's really different.
Right, totally different.
Yeah.
It's
But we still get along.
Yes. We do.
I think that some of this, for me at least, it for sure stems from my fear of numbers. Like I just didn't have good math teachers growing up.
That we both have in common. I also
know.
hate numbers.
I know. I can't. You keep telling me this, but I have such a hard time believing it. I feel like, how could you be in real estate and need a calculator? But apparently, it's possible.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So when people start using numbers, I start tuning out. It's something I'm working on because it's not a good thing. Maybe I should just use calculators more often.
You should.
All right.
Or ChatGPT.
So I know for myself that starting this business and growing it and working with clients has been a very meaningful journey for me in terms of my own personal development. Like the main thing that I feel that pushes my business forward is when I work on my mindset, work on my the way that I'm showing up to my clients, the way I'm showing up at networking events. It's been a lot of internal work, which I did not expect going in. Has that been your experience also?
Oh, 100%. Mindset is everything. We could do a whole nother podcast just on that alone. To me, when I started off, my mindset then and my mindset now is two totally different people. And I'm all for a very positive mindset. I think it's very underestimated. Like people don't really understand the power of a positive mindset. I think that.
Now, I might have a question on this because I always feel like you can't really turn it on. Like if you're having a bad day, you can't turn on a positive mindset.
Disagree.
Share.
Okay, so when I first started, I was in the early stages of motherhood. I had my first born daughter. She was born with a medical condition, and I would say back in I was a different person. I had my fears really ruled over my life a lot, and I was more instead now most people know me, know that I look at the bright side, but I wasn't always like that. And we were at a top doctor in CHOP, and the doctor, before she was going in for a scan, the doctor looked at my husband and I and said, "We're looking for bad things." And I remember my husband and I, we just said, we're not going to worry until we have to worry. And when the scans came back, they were actually way more positive than what the doctor had told us.
Right.
So that showed me right there that, like, there's so much that you don't see and there is unknown. And what's the point of being negative? It's not going to get you anywhere.
Right. No.
So
you would have just spent all the time waiting for the scan results in fear.
And that was, for me, very like a pivotal moment where I turned my mindset around in a way.
Right.
And I started thinking much more positive, and it opened me up. It took a lot of I started where I did a lot of personal development work over the years, and that positive mindset was a huge shift.
Right. It's interesting. So like what you just described as something I've heard as dress rehearsing the disaster. Like you're kind of like, you're playing it out even before it actually has happened. And so when you're saying that spending time dress rehearsing disaster is wasted energy and brings you down, as opposed to being able to try to stay positive with the outcome. It could be that it'll go okay.
Correct. And it's also it's sometimes even an excuse and justify, like not to do what you really need to do. I have agents that I coach, and they're busy telling me why they shouldn't be doing the X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but what if you did it and you got a great outcome?
Right.
So I think that when you do something, right, you have a positive mindset, and then you get those positive results, it breeds more positive results.
No, I like this.
So
Yeah.
the mindset piece for me is a huge piece.
So interesting, because for me, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is to bring God into my business. Like, it's been like in the beginning, I felt like I was pushing a boulder up a mountain. That was like all my efforts were going to bring in the clients. I was going to do it. I was going to reach out. I was going to make connections. I was going to do the network. And it was exhausting because I wasn't necessarily getting a response. I wasn't getting a return on the effort. And it was like, I felt like I was like pushing something into reality. And as soon as I like let go and was like, I'm going to do what I can do within the capabilities that I have. I'm not going to twist myself into a pretzel. I'm not going to feel like I'm the one that's going to bring the success in the business. As soon as I shifted that, the leads came in. And it was like a change in like letting go and kind of surrendering to, if this business is going to succeed, I'm going to do what's within Hishtadlus, which is like, what I can do within the confines of my life right now, and let go. And that's when the leads come. So it's always whenever I start to feel that feeling of like, oh, one of my clients terminated, I need to fill the slot, what's going to be? Like, I try to go back into that space of like, what's within my Hishtadlus? What can I do without turning my life upside down to put myself out there and talk about my business to people, come to masterminds and talk to people, start a podcast, and then we'll see what comes. And that's been like a really big change from the beginning for me.
That's beautiful. Do you have like a specific story that you could share?
I don't, because this cycle just keeps happening where like I'll get, and it's gotten less because I catch myself early on of like, oh no, I'm not gonna grow year over year, because if two clients stop at the same time, then all of a sudden I'm not, and then I'm like, dial it down. Everything's gonna come at the right time. Do your Hishtadlus,
right.
Do the steps, do the things that you need to do to grow your business. See what comes. You never know. Like, I have gotten leads from the most random places. I'll meet someone 3 years ago, and she'll randomly reach out and say, oh, I have a client that I think can use your help. And it wasn't because I put the effort in there. It was a seed that I planted 3 years ago.
Right.
And so just believing that I'm doing my work to plant the seeds, and Emir Hashem, it'll come at the right time. It's been... so it's none of those like, oh, it's epiphanous. It was none of those, but it's been an avoda of my own to really try to kind of embody that. Oh,
got it.
It's not easy growing a business. No, it's really not. No. But we support each other.
So do you recommend it for a friend?
It depends.
Depends,
It
exactly.
depends.
That's a good, depends on the context.
Right. All right. This was really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
All right. So join us next time. We're going to have a guest here, and we'll put them in the hot seat and see how they answer our questions. Take care.